What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to talk about something when it comes in the way of like magazine exchanges. So typically anything you can do to make you faster and more accurate with a firearm is definitely what you're looking for. Whether you're a competition guy, you carry a gun for a living, law enforcement, military type stuff, or even just someone who goes out to shoot for fun on the range, having good standard movements and making yourself faster definitely makes a big difference in your shooting skill. And if you're like me, the faster, the better. Now, the Gen 5 Glocks definitely have some issues when it comes to magazine changes. And one of those is that stupid half moon cutout in the front of it. It's what I call the half moon hookup. And I'm not talking about the half moon hookup where you drive your girl out somewhere in the woods and hook up on a point overlooking the city. I'm talking about that nice little notch right here that Glock left in the frame. So when you do a magazine exchange, you catch part of your pinky on it, especially if it's a Glock 19. So if you're like me and you want to get it in there as fast as possible, that didn't sound so good. So if you want to help your magazine exchanges and kind of alleviate this, Zev has a very good Magwell they've put out. I'm not the hugest fan of all Zev products, but they do have some really good stuff out there. Now, whether you're a competition guy, a concealed carry guy, law enforcement, something like a Magwell can really help you out. And I've done a ton of reviews on Magwells from Steel City, Zevs for the Gen 3, Gen 4, Blacklist Industries, most recently one of the Overwatch Precision ones. And this one on the Zev is a little bit different. There are some things that may make you want this or may not make you want this, depending on what you're looking for. And the Gen 5 Magwells are just a little bit more difficult to produce because of the flare that's already there on the pistol grip of the Glock frames for the Generation 5. And then you've got already more designs coming out where like the Glock 45 and the MOSs don't even have that cutout anymore. So those different grip designs do cause a bit of an issue for manufacturers coming out with different products for like Magwells. As you saw in that video earlier, I have caught that half moon on the front more than once, even on the Glock 17, which is the Magwell version that I got for one of my guns to practice with and test with. To see if it's something that I wanted to carry on a daily basis. Now, I have been carrying this for probably about the past 6 months every single day. And I gotta say, I do like it. So I wanna get into this thing with you and show it to you up close and kind of show you some of the differences in the design and the sizing of it. It is a little bit bigger than some of the previous generations to overcome that already flared Magwell that Glock put on their gun. And if you guys like learning about this stuff on these new products, things that you might be interested, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, maybe that bell icon, or leave me a comment below and let me know if there's something else you'd like me to do a review on. So let's go ahead, we'll get into this thing and check it out up close so you guys can see what it's all about right now. Well, let's get into this Gen 5 Magwell from Zev Technologies. So I always prefer Magwells on my guns just because, you know, that extra area helps you get magazines in there quicker. Like you saw in that video a little bit earlier where I kind of get caught up here and insert that Magwell, and that does have to do with the initial design of the Gen 5 Magwells with that little cutout. So this is all aluminum, and I prefer aluminum Magwells over, you know, polymer based ones because they will stand the test of time longer than something that's polymer, because the feed lips on your factory magazines are steel and they will catch and gall up that polymer over time. So this thing is very flush fitting. There is a little bit more of a lip than on previous generations, like right around here. And that's because of the factory swell and kind of integrated Magwell almost on the pistol grip. It's flared a little bit more, actually a lot more than previous generations. And that does cause a little bit of an issue for manufacturers of Magwells that are trying to really get these things to fit well. So one of the biggest things is internally here, and you can see that Glock has done Zev has done a very good job matching the lines up in there of the factory Glock Magwell and not leaving any real huge protruding edges or anything. And that's kind of tough because, you know, there is a lot going on in here, and they had to make this Magwell big enough to slide over that flare and still be able to, you know, fit flush on the inside there. So the one thing that they did leave off, and I don't know if that's because they had some insider information or not, is right there in that little half moon area. Let me get you real close. And you can kind of see in that area right there where it's a little banged up, and that's from doing magazine exchanges before I had this Magwell. That cut out like that right there. So like in the video I showed, you can see I'm doing a mag exchange, and I got into that edge right there and I tore it up pretty good because it's just a hang up area, and also it's just a hang up area for my hand. You can see my pinky is in there, and when I'm doing mag exchanges, I got that little bit of a hookup right there once because I caught that magazine on the skin of my finger, and not the best design from Glock in my opinion. But take like the Glock 45 here. So this is like the MOS version that doesn't have that cutout. So they had to be able to design this to get over that mouth and then still fit flush in here. But to give you guys an idea, here is the Gen 4 version right next to the Gen 5. And you can see there's quite a bit more surface area on those Magwells for the Generation 5. And then the one thing that's kind of odd on me is they put that lanyard hole in there right there. So I don't know why they decided to do that, but not something that I think a lot of people were asking for. It kind of adds more bulk to the base of it, if you ask me. It's not going to affect anything or hurt you, but it's just kind of one of those things of why you just made it a little bit more bulky than it had to be. Still, overall, I think it's a great design, and I think it's something if you're into Magwells and you're into having kind of the sleekest entry point in here, this is a good setup. I do have another one coming in, but let's go ahead, get back up into the chair and talk about if this is something that you would be interested in. Pretty good, guys, I'm not going to lie. I would definitely buy this again. I enjoy having a Magwell on pretty much every gun that I carry, especially the shorter the pistol grip. You know, having bigger hands on like a Glock 19 like this, you can see that my hand just kind of fully encompasses that, like when I showed you up close. And having a Magwell gives me that just little bit of extra grip, so when I'm punching out, I don't have any issues when I'm, you know, firing rapidly and trying to reacquire that target after, you know, 2-3 rounds and that gun starts to rise on you. So Magwells aren't for everybody though, and I realize that. Some guys just think it's an extra piece of equipment. But as you saw up in that Magwell, you could see where those steel lips for the magazine just really galled into that frame itself, especially on that, that half moon area, just because when I was slamming them in there, it seemed to be a place that I would regularly catch that magazine on. Now there are definitely positives and negatives to these. Zev is definitely some of the more pricey stuff out there on the market. There's just no two ways about it. It does feel very good in my hand though. Somebody with smaller hands may think it's a little bit oversized. I like the size, especially with bigger hands, because it really does kind of encompass the whole bottom of my hand in this general area and gives me a lot of extra grip on the pistol. And that front part of it, that nice little pinky grip that covers that kind of half moon cutout, definitely something I'm a fan of. And you could also see where it will actually fit like the Glock 45 or the 17 MOS that doesn't have that half moon cutout. And that's because I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it just kind of worked out that way, that they designed it so that didn't fully block off that part of the frame, which I would have liked to have had that just for this, but then they would have had to make two different products. And I can kind of see where that would have gotten a little bit more expensive for Zev. But it is multi-gun use. You can use it if you bought one of the first generations of the Gen 5 17, and then the newer versions like the 45 that don't have that cutout. It will work on both. And it's got great surface area to funnel that magazine in. I mean, you can be off by quite a bit if you're in a really stressful situation and just jam that magazine in there super quick like I did in that video. And it's definitely a great fit. It is the perfect size for that grip. It fits very firm, but it doesn't get tight to the point where it's marring up the frame or scratching up the frame when you're trying to put it on. Definitely tight and firm, which is exactly what you're looking for on a part like this. Now let's talk about the negatives, guys, because everything's gonna have a negative. Number one is gonna be the cost. This Magwell is like over $100. But yeah, over $100 for a little piece of aluminum Magwell is definitely pricey, especially when there are other options coming out that are like $25 to $30 cheaper. Now the holes in back, I'm not a fan of them. I don't know why it's there. I'm sure there's a use for it, and maybe, I don't know, a lanyard or something. But I don't tie my pistol off on my 2D gear, so I could care less about it. And it's just one of those things, well, it's there and I don't care if it is or it isn't, but that could be a negative for some people if they're looking for that complete aesthetic package. And the overall size, now this is more of the size of the Gen 3, Gen 4 of that like Pro Plus, which was a little bit larger, almost competition style Magwell. And like I said, the reason they had to do that was because the Gen 5s already have that little flare like you saw up close. So if you guys are into learning new things about products like this before you go waste money on them and have to send it back, or you're just stuck with it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Maybe hit the bell icon or like the video, leave a comment. If you don't like the video, that's okay. Go ahead and put a round in that thumbs down if you want. I actually don't do that because I'm not buying you another computer. But like, share, subscribe, guys. I really appreciate you spending some more of your time here with me today. I do have another Gen 5 Magwell inbound that I will be doing a review on soon. So if you're not digging the style or aesthetics of this one, I do have another one coming in soon. Little bit sleeker from what it looks like, and I will have that review up for you guys as soon as possible. So stay safe, stay ready, guys. Get out there and have some fun on the range, and I'll see you on the next one.